All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the YouTube channel. We are opening the courtroom for the afternoon session. You are in the courtroom of Judge Miriam Martin Clark. Please, everyone, make yourselves visual, turn on your video cameras, no talking, no eating, no sleeping. Please keep your device on mute until the court calls your name for the record and asks you to unmute. I need to, Mr. Tarpley, you're unable to turn on a video camera, is that right? Are you on a landline, Mr. Tarpley?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Al-Haq Mohammed, please turn your video camera on. Bassam Abdullah, please turn your video camera on. If I have to ask you this over and over repeatedly, I am going to remove you and you will not be able to resolve your matter today. Okay, so the court is calling. The court is calling case number SP 112-58381. Bassam Ahmed Abdullah. And the charge is improper license. Count 2 of that same ticket, no insurance. Also SP 112-58361, same defendant, improper equipment. And count 2 of that same ticket, no registration. SP 112-57671. No, I'm sorry. That's all. 1, 2, 3, 4 matters for Mr. Bassam Ahmed Abdullah. If Mr. Bassam Ahmed Abdullah is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Bassam Abdullah.
All right, and who's representing Mr. Abdullah?
Attorney Joseph Dodds for the record, P77311 on behalf of Bassam Abdullah.
And Mr. Dodds, how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Abdullah?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty in this matter, waive any further formal arraignment, and set a pretrial date.
All right, thank you, Mr. Abdullah. The court is entering a not guilty plea for you in all matters. We will give you the pretrial date, sir, of June 14th, 2021, on which to return. It will be a Zoom connection. The same way you connected today, you will connect on June 14, except it will be, sir, at 9 a.m. And Mr. Abdullah, we will give you a personal bond. It means you do not have to pay any money, but you must return on June the 14th by Zoom. So the same number you dialed today, on June 14th, you will dial it again for your pretrial. Any questions, Mr. Dodds or Mr. Abdullah?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may disconnect, and the court is calling Tori Tarpley. Tori Tarpley and Mr. Tarpley.
Yes.
Case number SP 103-34481. Troy Deshaun Tarpley, and the charge is improper license. Also SP 107-05191. Troy Deshaun Tarpley. Driver's license never acquired. Count 2 of that same ticket, no insurance. And also 184952861. Same defendant, no operator's license on person. Is Mr. Troy Tarpley in the virtual courtroom? If so, please say your name for the record.
Troy Deshaun Tarpley.
Thank you. Who's representing Mr. Tarpley?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Tim Malafide on behalf of Mr. Tarpley. Your Honor, at this time, would continue to plead of not guilty and ask for a pretrial date.
Thank you. Mr. Malafide, is that the only, well, actually, we have a list of others who are also getting a pretrial date. So I'm going to include those at this time.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that all of them can be released. Case number SP 112-52201. Oh, Mr. Anderson, that was from this morning. Okay. Case number SP 112-32901, Tiana Troop. Tiana Troop, and the charge is license improper. Also, count two, that same ticket, civil infraction, driving 1 to 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. Also, the court is calling Julian Curtis Turner. Case number SP, oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Tiana Troop, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Tiana Troop.
Thank you. And SP 112-93451, Julian Curtis Turner, driver's license suspended, count two of that same ticket, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle, and count three, no insurance. Mr. Julian Turner, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Julian Turner.
Thank you. And SP 113-02101, James Tionka Tyson, James T-E-I-O-N-K-A Tyson, T-Y-S-O-N. The charge is driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. If Mr. Tyson is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
James Tionka Tyson.
Right. I believe, Mr. Malphite, that is all for a court date. Is that correct?
That's my understanding. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So each of the persons whose name I called, who is representing them?
That would be me, Your Honor, as to all named clients, Judge, and we would be continuing to plead not guilty and asking for pretrial dates.
All right. So for everyone whose name was called, the court is entering a not guilty plea for you. We will be giving you a pretrial date on which to return. And we will give you a personal bond. So each of you is being given a personal bond. That means you do not have to pay any money, but you must return on June 14, 2021 at 9 a.m. for your pretrial. Are there any questions?
No.
If not, please disconnect, and thank you so much. We'll see you on June 14th. Now, everyone else who is on the Zoom in the waiting room
June
is
14th.
June 14, 1-4. Thank you. All right. Everyone else is a plea. Is that right, Mr. Malphite?
Judge, that should be true. There was an individual I saw who popped in and now has since, wait, Moto E6. I don't know who that individual is, but as to everyone else, I believe
Moto E6 will have to wait. We're calling Shakayla Taylor. Shakayla Taylor. And that case number is from the morning docket. Let me see. Ms. Taylor. Let me see, where's Ms. Taylor? Case number SP 108-77531, Shakayla Angel Taylor. The charge is no insurance. If Ms. Shakayla Taylor is in the courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Shakayla Taylor.
All right, and Ms. Taylor, who's representing Ms. Taylor?
Good afternoon. Once again, Your Honor, Tim Malphite, on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Your Honor, there have been recommendations put forth. We'd like to take advantage of those recommendations.
Okay, what is the recommendation?
As to Ms. Taylor, Judge, it'll be a amendment to an improper plates. She'd be willing to take that plea.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you understand your right to a trial.
Yes.
Ms. Taylor, if you were to have a trial, normally it would take place in person inside the 36th District Court, but because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public, and so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Ms. Taylor, did your attorney advise you of all of your rights today?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
And understanding that you will be waiving or giving up your right to a trial, it is my understanding you wish to go forward with a guilty plea.
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Taylor, on the date, the time, and the location indicated, in the ticket ending in 77531, were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you stopped by a police officer who asked you for valid insurance?
Yes.
Were you able to show that officer valid insurance?
No.
All right, Mr. Malafide, are you satisfied?
I am, Your Honor.
Court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will also accept the recommendation to amend the charge to improper plates. Madam Clerk, do you have a total for Ms. Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor. 240 for the plea, and she has one reinstatement fee of $45, which is a total of $285, and there was no bond posted.
Okay, Madam Clerk, thank you. Ms. Taylor, do you need more than 30 days to pay?
Yes.
How much time do you need?
No, 30 days is fine. 30 days is fine.
All right, ma'am, 30 days, and you may disconnect from the hearing if you have no other questions.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. This is Mr. Al-Haq Mohammed. Mr. Al-Haq Mohammed,
Your Honor,
yes.
remember, I didn't talk to that gentleman. I don't know what he wants to do.
Okay, he's pleading, and Madam Clerk, have the plea that you can share with Mr. Malafite, right?
Jim has the plea. He just didn't speak with
That's true. I apologize, Judge. I do have his plea, and I know that he wants to proceed, so I suppose we can proceed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, this is case number SP 106-94101, Mohammed Abdul Al-Haq. That's AL-HAQQ. And the charge is failure to top a load. Count 2 of that same ticket is failure to secure a load. If Mr. Al-Haq is in the virtual courtroom, please state your name for the record.
I'm here, Your Honor. Muhammad Abdul Al-Haq.
All right. Thank you, sir. And who's representing Mr. Al-Haq?
Tim Malafide, on behalf of Mr. Al-Haq, Your Honor, there have been recommendations put forth. We'd like to take advantage of those recommendations.
All right, sir. What is the recommendation?
Judge, it looks like he's going to be pleading to count 1 of that as a delayed sentence. The other count is going to be dismissed.
All right, Mr. Al-Haq. You've heard the representation of your lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you advised, sir, of your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Al-Haq, normally that trial would take place in person in the 36th District Court, but because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public, and so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Al-Haq, did the attorney have a chance to advise you of all of your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be giving up or waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's my understanding that despite the fact that you will be waiving your right to a trial, you wish to go forward with the plea. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Al-Haq, you may lower your hand. Mr. Al-Haq, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 694101, were you driving a vehicle with a load in the city of Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, were you stopped by a police officer who noticed that that load was not tarped?
Yes.
So there was no tarp on that load, is that correct?
No, at the time, no.
All right, Mr. Malafite.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, sir, the court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. Were you on a street, Mr. Al-Haq, or were you on the expressway?
I was parked. I was waiting in line to pull into the dump yard with one of my, I haul trailers.
All right. Okay, Madam Clerk, do you have a fine for Mr. Al-Haq?
Yes, Your Honor. The fine amount for the plea is $240. He has 2 reinstatement fees of $90. The total is $330 and no bond posted.
Thank you. Mr. Al-Haq, do you need more than 30 days to pay that $330?
No, I can pay it today.
Okay, well, sir, if you
What are the
would
reinstatement
wait
fees?
until tomorrow.
What are the reinstatement fees, Your Honor?
Those are fees that the Secretary of State imposes on certain tickets. Not on every ticket, but on certain kinds of tickets. The Secretary of State requires a mandatory fee in order.
I mean, I'm suspended right now?
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
You.
I didn't know that. I've been pulled over quite a few times.
In fact, I think I'm right, Madam Clerk, he would be suspended, right? Otherwise, there wouldn't be a reinstatement fee.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're suspended, Mr. Al-Haq, so know that, sir. And we don't collect, I mean, we do collect the reinstatement fee. We don't charge the reinstatement fee, and we can't reduce it. So even if your ticket is dismissed for certain charges, the Secretary of State imposes a mandatory reinstatement fee. So it's got nothing to do with anything the court does, but we will collect
it happened last year.
Pardon?
And I'm just applauded by it because it happened last year around this time during the pandemic, and I never was notified that my license was suspended. I own the business. I didn't, but okay. I mean, I'm willing to pay it.
I don't know, sir. I now that I can't speak to, because
I'm driving now.
The Secretary of State does that. They do it automatically, and they impose that fee as a mandate. So the court doesn't have anything to do with it. We will collect it, but until your license, you can't get your license restored until you pay it.
Okay.
So
I mean, I didn't know. I'm driving every.
But you know what?
I drive every day. I own a business.
Well, you know what,
I drive every day.
You should check, Mr. Muhammad, to make sure you have no other tickets in the system, because I don't know whether you've been stopped. I don't know.
Plenty of times.
You have? Plenty of times.
Motor carriers pull us over all the time. The weight master, they pull us over all the time. And
okay, but just check.
I'm right now in one of my trucks.
Okay. It cannot hurt you to check. Just look on the website and see whether there are any other open matters in 36th District Court or any other district where you may drive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I haven't got no ticket. I haven't got no ticket since this one. And before that, it'd been like 6 years. I haven't gotten any tickets.
Okay, good.
But I'm willing to pay it today. But you said wait till tomorrow?
Yes, because the clerk needs time to get it in the system, okay?
And where do I go pay it at?
You have to pay it online, 36districtcourt.org, or on the DivDat app. Just 36
district.org.
Yes, 36th districtcourt.org. All right, so you may disconnect.
All right, thank you.
Disconnect, and the court is calling. Christian,
Your Honor, what's the total?
$330.
All right, thank you.
Christine Taylor. Christine Taylor. The court is calling case number. Ms. Taylor was also from this morning. The case, Christina Taylor, SP 11156731, Christina Loria Taylor, improper license. And also SP 9608911, driver's license suspended. U 454413008, indecent and obscene conduct. U 47176208, indecent and obscene conduct. 1, 2, 3, 4 matters for Ms. Christina Loria Taylor. Ms. Taylor, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Christina Lorio Elizabeth Taylor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Malafite, how do you wish to proceed?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Tim Malafite on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Your Honor, I believe that there have been recommendations put forth. She'd like to take advantage of those recommendations. Judge, I would advise the court that I don't have a copy of that, so I'll rely on the representations the court gives.
Okay, I don't have it either. Madam Clerk, can you tell us what Ms. Taylor is pleading to?
Yes, Your Honor. She's pleading to case number SP 1115673, drove while license not valid or improper license. She's also pleading to SP 9608911, drive while license suspended. And the other matters, U 4717628 and U 45441308 will be dismissed.
All right, thank you, Ms. Taylor. You've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand your right to a trial?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor, you understand that if you were to have that trial, it would normally take place inside the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Ms. Taylor, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, I am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
And you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And despite the fact that you're giving up your right to a trial, it's my understanding you wish to go forward with the plea. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
You may lower your hand. And Ms. Taylor, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 156731, were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you stopped by an officer who asked you for a valid license?
Yes.
Were you able to show that officer a valid license?
No, I wasn't.
And on the
Satisfied as
date,
to that count.
thank you, sir. On the date and time and location indicated in the ticket ending in 156731, were you again driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you stopped by a police officer on that occasion who asked for a valid driver's license?
Yes, I was.
Were you able to show that officer a valid driver's license?
No, ma'am, I was not.
All right, Mr. Malafite.
I'm likewise satisfied, Judge.
All right, the court will accept the guilty plea in each matter, being satisfied with the factual basis we will accept the recommendation to dismiss the remaining 2 charges previously read into the record. And Madam Clerk, do you have a fine for Ms. Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor. The 2 plea amounts is $480. She has one $45 reinstatement fee. The total is $525, and she posted a $300 bond.
All right, so $525 minus $300 bond, ma'am, is $225 is your balance. Are you able to pay that within 30 days?
Yes, ma'am. I also was informed when I was talking to the attorney. I have an appointment with the Secretary of State tomorrow, and she told me to inform the court so
Okay,
that I can pay it today.
I'll process yours first for now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank
right,
you.
if you
You
have
have
no
a great
other-
day, Judge.
Thank you so much. You too, ma'am. You may disconnect from the hearing. And the court is calling LaQuinta Ivy. Case number LaQuita Ivy. Case number SP 4591941. LaQuita Latanya Ivy. No operator's license on person, 173915981, allowing a person to drive with a suspended license, SP 103-84071. Same defendant driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket, improper license. Count 3 of that same ticket, no insurance. And SP 11029951, no operator's license on person. And 194766731, driver's license suspended. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matters for Miss LaQuita Latanya Ivy. If Ms. Ivy is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
LaQuita Latanya Ivy.
Thank you, Ms. Ivy. Who's representing Ms. Ivy?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Tim Malphite on behalf of the defendant. Your Honor, it's my understanding that you'd like to take advantage of whatever recommendations were given. I would advise the court that I don't have a copy of that. I will have to rely on whatever is represented.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. What is she pleading to?
She's pleading to case number SP 1102995, count 1. Failed to display a valid operator's license. She's also pleading to case number 19476-673, which is driver license suspended. And they will dismiss SP 103-8407, count 1, 2, and 3, and also dismiss 17391-598, count 1.
Okay, now there's some tickets that you're, tell me the second ticket she's pleading to, because I don't think I had that number. What are the last 4 digits of the second ticket you said she's pleading to?
673, Your Honor. 19476-6731.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Ivy, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes.
Ms. Ivy, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes.
And ma'am, do you understand that if you were to have that trial, it would normally take place inside the 36th District Court?
Yes,
in
ma'am.
person, but because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ivy, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes.
Ma'am, did anyone threaten you force you or offer you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
And ma'am, knowing that you're waiving your rights, it's my understanding you wish to go forward with a guilty plea.
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
You may lower your hand. Ms. Ivy, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 29951, were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you stopped by a police officer who asked you for a valid license?
Yes.
Were you able to show that officer a valid driver's license?
No.
All right, in the ticket ending in 66731, on the date, time, and location in that ticket, were you driving again a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And were you stopped by a police officer who asked for a valid license?
Yes.
Was your license suspended at that time?
Yes.
Mr. Malafide, are you satisfied with each plea?
As to both counts, Judge, I am satisfied.
Court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will accept the recommendation to amend the charge ending in 6731. No, I think it's the other one. We will accept the recommendation to amend the charge ending in 29951 to failure to display, and all other matters previously read into the record are dismissed pursuant to the prosecutor's recommendation. Madam Clerk, do you have a total?
One moment, Your Honor. I'm checking on her mind. One moment. Ms. Ivy, did you post a bond?
Yes, I did.
For how much?
It's a couple on here, so I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. Your total is $795.
I paid $700.
In bonds?
No, I'm sorry, 600. Yes.
Okay. Her plea amount is $480, Your Honor, for the two pleas she was taken. And then she has a total of 7 reinstatement fees, which total $315. So the total is $795.
Okay, so she,
$600 bond.
all right, so the difference between $600 and $795 is $195. That's what you owe, ma'am. That's your balance. You need
Okay.
more than 30 days.
No.
All right. If you have no other questions, you may disconnect from the hearing.
I do. Where do I pay this online at?
Online, 36districtcourt.org, 36thdistrictcourt.org, or
Okay.
on the DivDat app, DIVDAT.
DIVDAT. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you. All
Thank
right,
you.
and court is calling Lemanuel Taylor. Lemanuel Taylor, case
Yes.
number. Ms. Taylor, wait a minute, ma'am. Let me read your case number. Okay, let's see. Madam Clerk, oh, here it is. Okay, case number U515-75219. Lemanuel Taylor, and the charge is disorderly conduct. If Lemanuel Taylor's in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Emmanuel Sharon Taylor.
Thank you. And who's representing Ms. Taylor?
Tim Malafide on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Your Honor, there have been recommendations put forth. We'd like to take advantage of those recommendations. Specifically, she'll be pleading to this count with the understanding that it'll be a 3-month delayed sentence.
Okay. Ms. Taylor, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you
Yes.
in agreement with that representation?
Yes.
Were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes.
And Ms. Taylor, you know that if you were to have a trial, you do have the right to have that trial in person in the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you've agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that right?
Yes.
Ms. Taylor, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes.
Ma'am, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
And knowing that you are giving up that right, it's my understanding you wish to continue with your guilty plea.
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
You may lower your hand. Ms. Taylor, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 75219, were you driving a motor? Oh, no, you weren't driving. Were you driving?
No, Your Honor. No, it's a
What were you
disorderly
doing, Ms. Taylor,
conduct.
that you're pleading to disorderly conduct?
It was a
What
fight.
were you doing? You were fighting? Is that what you said?
That is
Yes.
what she said.
How old are you, Ms. Taylor?
I'm 20 now. At that time I was 18.
You were fighting? Don't tell me it wasn't over a boy.
No.
All right, ma'am.
I'm satisfied, Judge.
The court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. Ms. Taylor, what do you do now? Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, I did.
Were you in high school at the time?
Yes, I was.
What high school?
West Side Academy.
West Side Academy? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
Well, that's good, because they usually put you out for fighting. Were you fighting on school grounds?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Where were you fighting?
A gas station.
What? Miss Taylor, Miss Taylor. All right, so what do you do now, ma'am?
I work.
What you do?
I work at McDonald's.
There's nothing wrong with that. Not one thing. That is not one thing. That's a legitimate, good job, at least for now, during COVID. All right, ma'am. The court is going to accept the recommendation to delay your sentence for a period of 3 months. That is an opportunity for you to have this case dismissed, provided you have no new charges of this nature. At the end of that 3-month period, this case can be dismissed. Was this unusual for you, Ms. Taylor? Had you ever been charged with? Have you ever been charged with fighting before? Okay.
No.
Okay. Madam Clerk, I am going to give Ms. Taylor a reduced fine of $200, inclusive of her costs and fines and the attorney fee for the use of house counsel. And if she can pay that amount, that $200 within 30 days, how long is it going to take you to pay that, Ms. Taylor?
30 days is fine.
Okay, within 30 days, we will dismiss this charge at the end of 3 months. We will make it non-reporting You will not have to come back unless you have a new charge of this nature or you have not paid those costs and fines. Okay. All right. Any questions, Ms. Taylor?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, ma'am, you may be excused from the hearing. And I have one other person, Livingston. What is the last name?
Your Honor, that is the one from this morning. That is what was his name?
Adwini
Yes.
Poku. And
Yes.
what's happening with Mr. Poku?
I don't know.
I don't either. Where are you, Mr. Poku? Adwini Poku, where have you been? We've looked for you several times. The officers were all released because Mr. Poku wasn't here. Isn't that right? Mr. Adwini Poku? Isn't that right, Madam Clerk? He's the one that
was here earlier and then
Mr. Poku,
he left.
I want to see your face. So unless you can be visual, I am going to remove you. I do not know you're here. I do not believe you're here. I am going to exit the live stream at this time.